Hi guys, Dr. Austin here from Inver Chiropractic, and today we're going to dive into a question that we get asked all the time. How can chiropractors help with lower back pain? And there's a lot of different answers, but the most common thing that I tell patients is, well, we can help with low back pain because we look at everything globally to start. So we look at knees, we look at ankles, we look at hips, but then we go into the lower back and maybe above the spine as well. All those pieces can play a pretty big role in how the lower back is functioning and moving when you move. So that's the first piece, and then once we kind of dive at we look at the big picture, we dive into the smaller pieces. How are all these things connected, and when you're functioning and moving, are they all moving how they're supposed to all those joints together? And then when we find which joint is not functioning as well, that's when we go into, okay, how is this joint locked up? Where do we have the dysfunction at? When we find that spot, that's when we can put a small but effective force into the joint, and any joint in the body, but into that low back or into those hips to help those become and regain their good function to help with that lower back pain. That's a really big piece of the puzzle in terms of getting joint spaces moving. But we also do a little bit of muscle work around the area to help with that lower back pain, or to help with maybe the hip to activate appropriately, or the glutes to activate when you're bending over or squatting or things like that. So that's another piece, is how are the muscles functioning and working? Because if you can help get the joint spaces activating and functioning how they're supposed to, if the muscles aren't, things are just going to cause more dysfunction and things are going to go back to where they were. So really helping to loosen, but also to activate the muscles appropriately when you're moving, as well as putting motion back into the joint space, is how chiropractors most often can help with lower back pain, can really help the functionality of your back. So those are two really big pieces of what we focus on a day-to-day basis. If you guys have any questions on what we just talked about, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. Otherwise, please click share if there's somebody you think could use this information. We would greatly appreciate that. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.